Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to Westernacher's webinar this morning. A quick note before we start. This webinar will be recorded and made available publicly. All attendees are automatically muted so that there are no disturbances. Please use the Q&A section on the right side of the webinar window to post your questions. All your questions will be answered during the Q&A session. This presentation will be sent to your registered email for this webinar. Today's webinar topic is how SAP's Fiori platform can boost your warehouse operations. Your hosts for today are Mevin Darrell. He is an EWM solution architect for Westernacher's MENA region, and myself, Rohit D'Souza, and I'm in charge of project delivery for the same region. Agenda for today starts with a quick introduction of our company, followed by the main topic of SAP Fiori. We then want to quickly highlight the various deployment options available currently for EWM, and also want to take you through some of our innovations in the EWM space. And we will finally conclude with a Q&A session. A quick introduction of Westernacher. We were founded in 1969, so this year is our 50th anniversary. We are recognized as SAP's Gold Partner with over 600 experts, and we are a 100% employee-owned company, meaning we do not have third-party or outside investments. We are truly a global company with presence in over 25 cities in 18 countries. Our global headquarters is in Heidelberg in Germany, which is not too far away from SAP's own headquarters in Walldorf. Our Middle East head office is in Dubai. One of our key areas of focus is extended warehouse management. We have over 180 EWM functional and technical consultants around the globe. We were the first SAP EWM partners, and along with SAP, we delivered the first ever EWM implementation in the world at a company called Evobus in Germany. With that, I will now hand over the presentation to my colleague Mevin, who will take us through the Fiori user experience. Mevin?
Thank you, Rohit, for the quick introduction. Today, we are going to talk about Fiori user experience and the benefits in warehouse operations. So the key takeaways from the session would be, you'll have an overview of SAP's new UI technology, and you'll be able to clearly distinguish SAP Fiori from standard SAP GUI, and you would witness enhanced mobile experience, and you will learn how SAP Fiori can increase warehouse productivity. I would like to make a small note here. We would be discussing more on a functional aspect of the new UI and not the technical aspect of it. So what is the need of new UI, and what are the limitations in SAP GUI? SAP recognized the business demands, and they realized that the end user expectations of interface experience had changed significantly. As the consumer technologies like smartphones made sleek, intuitive, user-friendly apps common, and now the users and employees began demanding a comparable UX at work. Though SAP GUI is reliable, it is becoming less popular due to following reasons. It is not adaptable to the newer devices with new operating systems like Android, iOS. This also means it is not convenient or not accessible anywhere, anytime. Conventional look and feel. As we know, there were no major changes in look and feel of SAP screens for the past 2 decades. Menu or transaction code driven. In fact, everybody knows that a good feature in SAP is navigation option just by double clicking on an object. Still, it requires to jump from one ticket to another to perform or complete certain processes. And it has rigid design tools, which doesn't give much option to the developer to design screens. Non-responsive screens. Sometimes this annoys the user during operational hours and during tremendous business pressure, especially I'm talking about the RF user in the warehouse. Overall, it's not a great experience, and the older GUI began to lag in terms of workers' productivity. SAP realized these concerns, tried various approaches, and finally, the new UI is evolving and transforming the way the business works. So, what is new UI? It is called Fiori. So, what is SAP Fiori? It is a new design language that brings great user experience to enterprise applications. SAP Fiori is part of SAP S/4HANA, IBP, C/4HANA, and SuccessFactors, and it is planned to be introduced into all other SAP products in the future. SAP Fiori equips designers and developers with a set of tools and guidelines to create apps faster than ever, providing a consistent, innovative experience for both creators and users. The great user experience highlighted here has different aspect to it. Let's see what makes it great. So it is great because it is role-based, adaptive, simple. What do we mean by role-based? This can be tailored based on roles. We have different roles played by the users in the warehouse. For example, supervisors, managers, workers, etc. Users can view only relevant and only the authorized apps in the dashboard, in their launchpad. They can create favorite homepage and can also add or remove apps within the homepage. And it is adaptive. It adapts to multiple devices since it can be accessed through web browsers. It is simple. The app shows only what is necessary and relevant. And just by doing one click, you can do all the operations, opposed to browsing through the menu structure or using transaction codes. It is great because it is consistent, it is intelligent, it is integrated. What does that mean? Consistent, harmonized look and feel across products and devices. In fact, if you see the screenshot here, you can see warehouse management, Internet of Things, transportation management, yard logistics. So it is consistent. The look and feel is consistent across the product. Yeah. And it is intelligent. System helps the users intelligently to get the job done through notifications with right and relevant information. It is integrated, bringing relevant content from different product in one place and to navigate easily across the products. Now, I would like to take you through a small demo on Fiori screens. So unlike SAP GUI, here you would be logging in through a web browser. So I'd be logging in here, and you can see the home page of your Fiori screen. So this home page would have all the menus on top, which is basically logical grouping or based on the product, the module, SAP product, be it TM, EWM, IoT, or any other product. And you can navigate it through the menu as well, and you can scroll down to view all the tiles. So this box, we call it as tile, which is similar to any other smartphone app, right? So you can see the tiles, which is grouped logically. For example, if it is a warehouse management application, so you go through warehouse processing and you can see all the warehouse related tiles on the screen, and you can actually see an app finder here. These apps are allocated to a particular user based on the authorization and the role he is playing. He can add these applications to his home page. And if you see the highlighted ones which are already assigned, and now he can assign if it does something new, right? Similarly, you go to another app, pick up something, you can add it to the group. So it is easy to use, easy to assign it to your home page to access the applications. So now you can go and do some user settings here. So where you can actually see a user account, the appearance, the look and feel you can change. You can set some homepage content. You can also have some default values in it, like warehouse, for example. Yeah. And you can also see frequently used and recent activity menu, where it is useful to see what apps are used frequently and which can be mapped to your home page. Now in your home page, you can actually edit the content there, whether it is a group or whether it is the tile. You can set your own names to your tiles. So this is in an editable mode. Now your home page is in an editable mode. You can go to a certain group and you can swap the tiles in order to set the sequence of the tile, right? So you can swap the tiles, you can rename the tile. So I go here, standard RF environment. I wanted to give a description there, a subtitle there. So I add it, say handle application, because every user or every organization have their own terms, so they can do it themselves. You can also create new groups and group your applications, which I've already highlighted by just clicking add group. Yeah. And once you're done, you close them and you can see that is reflected in your home page. Yeah. You can see that handle application. And we also have something called dynamic tiles, where your tile will exactly show what are the pending pending tasks for a particular activity. This can also be done through Fiori apps. So hope by now you must have got an idea about a new Fiori screen, right? Now I wanted to take you through a specific scenario where you would appreciate the efficiency of the Fiori application. Let us assume that we are going to receive a consignment. So the reference to a PO with reference to a PO, we are going to create an inbound delivery in the system. I'd like to take you through this process both in SAP GUI and Fiori application. Rest, I'll leave it to your judgment. So here you can see the demo of a receiving activity in SAP GUI. So I'm going into MU2 and transaction, where you can actually view the open POs with open quantities, right? You can check all the entries here and you can see what has been delivered, what has been invoiced, and what is open. And now, if you have to create an inbound delivery, you'll have to jump into another transaction, right? And before jumping into another transaction, you actually have to have this document reference to create an inbound delivery. So SAP has standard option where once you create an PO, it will defaultly pick up the PO number to VL31 and transaction. But in case if you have to do it multiple times or multiple users are involved, then in that case, you may not have that. You'll have to pick up the predecessor document. You enter them and you check all the entries here, line item entries. You have multiple tabs to actually navigate and check. Yeah. And then you actually save it, which gets distributed to EWM environment. And now to view this same document in EWM, you'll have to again get into another transaction and then view the inbound delivery with reference to this PO. So that's what I'm doing now. So with reference to the PO, we'll pick up the inbound delivery. And then I could also show you the auto packing functionality. So it has been already packed. If you notice here, the HU tab. Yeah, and I would like to do GR now. You can do GR at handling unit level or at header level. So let's do a GR at header level to complete this transaction. Yeah, and now with the same exercise will be repeated in Fiori application now, and you would see the efficiency of it. So we go to this launchpad, and you see this create inbound delivery app, which is the second tile. Yeah, we just click it. The moment you click it, it automatically opens all the open POs based on certain date range. Yeah, it can be defaulted. And now with this PO, I can directly click on the PO and check the items, which is now the delivery creation screen. Now you can see the deliveries which are already created for this PO. If you notice ASN 103, we have created just now with SAP GUI, and I'm going to create another document, inbound delivery document with these two products. And I can edit the quantity here, and I can also create HUs here from the same screen, but let's do it in EWM screen. So with all these informations, I can actually go and create a delivery now. So I don't have to navigate or jump into another transaction. So if you notice, the moment I create a delivery, it is showing up just below in the same screen. So I can pick up the delivery there right away, and then I can do the receiving. So unlike SAP GUI, it has not been packed. We have not automated it. So you can also pack it here. There's a pack function which I wanted to show. So you can create HU directly from here. You can do it faster than SAP GUI transaction, pack transaction. Yeah. The moment you pack it, the item is moved from unpacked items. So you can do the same for the rest of the items, and then you can actually do the GR. So the moment it is packed, now it is ready to do GR. So now I select them, select the items, and then I do the GR. So without jumping from one transaction to another transaction, with all the information, required information, which is visible on the screen. And if you see, there are not many informations given, like irrelevant informations given. So if you see, the delivery is completed now, and with this, you would be able to appreciate how SAP Fiori apps are really efficient, right? So this demo, we have seen one of the apps, and there are many such simple and efficient apps. I'd like to take you through few of them here. Just before taking you through those apps, I just wanted to highlight the advantages here. So if you notice SAP GUI, we have gone through these three transactions, ME2 and VL31N and PRDI transaction, right? Whereas in Fiori UI, you could do it through one tile. And here you have to jump from one transaction to another using multiple windows. Some users, they use multiple sessions and they start doing multiple transactions. But here you don't have to jump in single app. You can do everything, the complete process. And you have to remember predecessor document here. And in this case, the subsequent documents are already shown in the same screen. Yeah, and you'll have to view all the information in various tabs in SAP GUI, but in case of Fiori UI, it provides only the relevant and necessary information for the user to continue his job done. Yeah, so the design principles here in Fiori UI is based on how the business works. It's not based on how SAP designs certain screens, right? So here are few apps which is which is which is built basically for the users to use in such a way It is easy for them and it is simple for them, and they can see only the relevant information here. So this is the pack transaction for outbound delivery, which has two options: basic and advanced packing mode. The one we see here is the advanced packing mode, has more detailed product information, visualization on weight of packed products, and exception handling. If you notice here, you see the product details, you can see the instructions for packing, right? You can see the packaging materials here, carton. You can set 5 of the packaging material which can be used, which can be defaulted and used, and you can see the visual uh, weight information here, yeah, and you can also see packing instructions at this side. And here in the same screen, you can also use it for exception handling, like partial packing, differences, damaged stock, if it is available. And this application also supports batches, serial numbers. Yeah, you can also connect scales in this app, weighing scales basically. You can also show pictures of the product here. Yeah, it makes the user's life easier, right? And you can handle all the exceptions. And if you see, you can actually visualize that, like from SAP GUI, the work center is pretty complicated to use, but with this kind of app, you can have a mobile device there at your work center, or you can even think about a touchscreen enabled app, which is already available now with SAP Fiori. Yeah. We also have another app which is very useful for uh, physical inventory counting, which allows you to see an overview of PI document and the status. Users can pick up the PI documents using various selection criteria and activate and deactivate the PI documents. Yeah, with this PI count application, you can actually use it in a tablet, go there to the bins, and you can enter the count, like like the people, those who are counting based on paper based counting, right? So we know warehouses, they do have EWM, they do have physical inventory process. They create physical inventory document, but they take a printout of the document, they go to the physical location with the paper which is printed, and they take the count of it, and they bring it back to the system and they enter them, which is not an efficient way of doing it. Having this particular app, you can have it in a tablet. You can physically go there and you can enter the count, so that you don't have to do it uh, once again in the system, right? And you can also see the documents which are open at your left hand side of the screen. Yeah. So with this app, you can also take the printouts of what has been counted before the count or after the count, and you can have it as a physical record. This is another useful app which is specifically built for uh, mobile devices. And we have another app called Outbound Processing. This is basically again for the supervisors, where they can monitor the outbound deliveries graphically. If you see that there's in the screen, you can see 0% picked. And whenever the picking activity starts, this particular image will show what percentage has been picked and what has not been picked, right? So similarly, you can see the overview of all the outbound deliveries, and you can deep dive into a particular delivery, and you can see all the items here and the statuses, and you can do the exception handling, like you can do GI, you can do the cancel reverse GI, you can also do picking, and you can also do cancel picking. So you have all these options available, which is again specially built for mobile devices. Yeah. So I believe now you will be able to realize the ease of usage, simplicity in execution, right? Clarity in information, and visually appealing screens. And overall, it gives a great user experience. I'm sure by now you could also imagine the benefits it brings to your warehouse operations and your business. Now, we would like to highlight Few benefits which are specific to warehouse operation using Fiori UI. Increase warehouse productivity. Yeah, this is a generic term and we wanted to specifically mention where and how exactly the Fiori UI helps increasing warehouse productivity. It also doesn't justify if we just say that Fiori UI it increases warehouse productivity. So we have four key components, which is people, process, technology, and information that the industries consider for supply chain transformation. Having said that, let us see how Fiori UX add value to all these components, which in turn increase your warehouse productivity. So I wanted to take you through an example. So let's take an example of RF devices. Any warehouse which has a warehouse management system would already have RF devices used in their operations, and everyone knows about the benefits. With SAP EWM, the RF application has almost all the warehouse processes which can be executed for most of your warehouse operations, and it reduces supervisors' tasks significantly and allows them just to monitor and handle exceptions. These RF devices were mostly Windows based and were the only compatible devices to work with ITS Mobile. Though the industry could appreciate the benefits of these applications and RF devices, it still has scope of improvement due to the following disadvantages. If you notice it is smaller screen size, right? You have to use function keys because SAP application is built in such a way to use function keys, which require specific model from the RF vendor, or you'll have to configure certain keys, combination keys, with the help of RF vendor. It also needs industrial browser to make it feel like a native app or to just fit in properly in the screen. The look and feel is also similar to the traditional GUI, right? And the devices are very expensive. If you're aware that RF devices which we use are very expensive. Now with SAP Fiori UI, we have an option to choose Android and iOS devices to execute RF transaction. Though the RF application gives significant benefits, SAP has not modified it completely in the Fiori version apart from making it available in the platform due to various reasons. Meanwhile, we in Westernacher understood the demand and need of having a mobile version of this RF application, which would benefit the warehouse users and the operations. So we have come up with this Fiori-based RF application, and it is already live in 5 customer locations with positive feedback. Here you could see the difference between the standard RF application and Westernacher RF application. It has been built for mobile devices. So now you can see the differences. You can see the push buttons which is appearing here on the screen, and it is properly assigned at the bottom or at the top of the screen, just like any other smartphone application. I would like to take you through a small demo of our RF UI app. You can see them, how it exactly fits to the devices, how responsive it is. I can pick up any of the device, smartphone device size. The screen can be adjusted automatically. Yeah, you can see that the differences in the screen now. I can log in into it. I'll show you a receiving process with the same RFUI screen. The users can easily operate this just by touching it. Yeah, it is so convenient for the user to touch and navigate through the transaction. So he's receiving, and if you also notice, there's a camera button just below. This is to capture any photos. For example, if something is damaged, you can actually capture an image there from the app, which has been specially built. And if you notice the fields in the screen, it is responsive, so it has not been truncated. especially here with all the details. The information is not truncated. Unlike SAP GUI, sometimes if it doesn't fit to the screen, it will be truncated. But here it is not, and it fits to all size of the devices. Yeah, and then you can also appreciate the push button which is placed from at the bottom or at the top, which is easy for the user to operate. So similarly, so we have this particular app which can be integrated with Fiori Launchpad, and it is available in Android as well. As I mentioned, it also has photo capturing functionality. As a Fiori app, we also have support app, which is literally used to track and trace the events triggered by an user. I would give an example for a user who has completed a transaction and he has done some mistake. But if you want to track what exactly he has pressed during the transaction and how he ended up with an error, you can actually track them from this support app. And we have something called gallery app here. So whatever the user has captured through photo capture option in this app, the supervisor in the office can actually log into this gallery app and he can view all the details there. And we have something called setting app. This is just to change the theme uh, of the screen in RF UI app. So with this, you would be able to appreciate, how easy it is to work with SAP Fiori. The bigger screen size means more clarity and ease of use, and it is touch enabled like any other smartphone. It is browser based, so that it can be used in any of the devices. The look and feel is definitely better than SAP GUI. The devices which have been used for RF environment, you can use less expensive devices. Like all Android devices are cheaper than the RF devices which has been used earlier. Overall, it is a great experience. I hope you would also believe it after looking at these demonstrations. SAP has also already done some studies, and it says that users using Fiori applications are more efficient than ones who use SAP GUI. And emotionally, they feel good about Fiori UX because of all these advantages and ease of use. And that is how people or user get benefit from Fiori UI. Now, I wanted to take you through another important component called processes, for which SAP EWM is already in place. SAP EWM, one of the key component of SAP's supply chain execution platform, which provides flexible process modeling platform to cater all the warehouse business scenarios for various industries. With EWM, we could map all the warehouse processes, be it simple or complex, and all the physical entities to have the real-time visibility of every activity and stock in your warehouse. Though EWM provides capability to set up an optimized process through automation or through other features, Fiori application adds value to it by enhancing and enabling mobility, creating process-specific apps, and executing them with ease. We already saw some examples of packing, physical inventory process, right? We have seen packing, physical inventory process, and outbound process. So you would be able to appreciate how efficiently uh, a process can be done using Fiori app, unlike jumping from one transaction to another and uh, having having predecessor document in your memory. So avoiding all these disadvantages, you can appreciate that how SAP Fiori is built up. This way, with EWM as a backbone to set up your optimized warehouse processing, Fiori apps add value for further simplifying it and speed up your warehouse operations. And now, in terms of technology and information, which is other two components. In terms of technology, Fiori suits perfect with S4 HANA due to its technical advantage. And now, since the design perspective of creating these apps have changed, and now the usability is taken into consideration. With this, if you notice, there is a significant increase in the productivity. Again, I'm giving the example which we have seen, where we have received an inbound delivery from a PO. If you notice how quickly and efficiently we have completed the transaction within a short time. So similarly, rest of the apps also support in a similar way to complete an activity efficiently and faster, by which we can conclude that it increases the productivity. We have faster resolution time. Supervisors can handle the exceptions not by sitting at their offices. They can go to the area where the exception has arisen, because the application supports the mobility, right? They can take a tab and go to the spot and check them physically and fix them immediately at that particular place. Less training effort, because the application looks more of an smartphone app, so it is easier to train the users. In fact, they pick up themselves because it is self-intuitive, which means that you also reduce your cost for training, right? Less development, because the applications, there are already thousands of applications available with standard SAP, and there are even more coming up. So you don't have to build it very specific, unless it is very specific to your scenarios. I also would like to mention that with S4 HANA, all the SAP GUI transactions are also available in Fiori now. Yeah, and it is easy to prioritize the warehouse task activities. As I mentioned, there are something called dynamic tiles, where the user can actually see the number of tasks pending for that particular activity just by looking at his launchpad. So by looking at his launchpad, he would be able to prioritize his work, uh, just to not to interrupt the warehouse operations. So that way, it's less interrupted operations. And also, Fiori applications also provides notification with right information. This is also another important benefit of Fiori application. Now, if you also notice SAP's strategy on the product roadmap, they give significant efforts in developing Fiori apps. Just to add a note, SAP has no future plans to create Fiori apps for their supply chain business suites, and all the new apps will be only developed in S4 HANA environment. With this, I would like to summarize that we have seen the SAP's new UI technology, which is Fiori, a new design language that brings a great user experience to enterprise applications, right? And we could also see the difference between SAP Fiori and standard SAP GUI. We could also witness enhanced mobile experience by looking at those particular apps which is specifically built for mobile devices. And finally, we're able to realize that SAP Fiori streamlines warehouse processes and increase warehouse productivity. Hope you all are excited to have such a productive warehouse environment, and this may trigger questions around deployment options, especially in warehouse management system perspective. So for anyone who is already using SAP ERP centric product, must be already know that SAP's strategy on future roadmap is towards S4 HANA centric products. And anyone who wanted to improvise or evolve your business into new capabilities, the recommendation from SAP is S4 HANA centric products. And those who are planning for greenfield implementation, it is more logical to go with S4 HANA centric products. Yeah, and if you could see here, these are the options available for EWM deployment. We have S4HANA on-premise embedded EWM, You can also go with S4 HANA on-premise decentralized EWM. It also applies for ECC business suite. You can also have S4 HANA Cloud and decentralized S4 EWM, or you can go with S4 Cloud Warehouse Management. So especially I want to highlight S4 Cloud Warehouse Management is a very basic warehouse management, unlike EWM system. At this moment, I also wanted to highlight Westernacher implements the first S4 HANA Cloud decentralized EWM setup, because this was not available uh, last year. And the go live is scheduled for this customer in December 2019, that is next month. And I also wanted to throw some lights on integration scenarios. You can have multiple integration scenario like what I've shown here. Consider that you have an S4 HANA system or an ERP system, and with one plant having multiple storage location, you can connect them to various warehouse management environment, I would say. So one you can do, you can have an inventory management, which is very simple, and you can also have a local warehouse management. You can also integrate with embedded EWM system. You can also have a decentralized logistics execution warehouse management system, or you can have decentral EWM or decentral EWM on S4 HANA, or with non-SAP system. So you have all the options available with this SAP platform. Yeah, we hope this information of deployment options would help you in taking few decisions in your organization. Please feel free to reach us for any queries or clarifications about deployment options. And now we are excited to let you know some of our EWM innovations. So the first one would be EWM Insights, an interactive dashboard developed within SAP Analytics Cloud. This helps you to monitor and manage your warehouse and to gain real-time insights. It's a uh, simple application designed in such a way, considering the usability of it, and the application can be integrated to your Fiori launchpad to see all the relevant KPIs in one place. So this is just a screenshot to compare the analytics part from SAP standard one with our EWM Insight application. With EWM Insights, you can see the overview of some of your key metrics for managing your warehouse, and also can view the detailed process specific analysis as shown here. So if you notice, all the details are shown here, uh, which is related to warehouse processes like, inbound, outbound, stock situation, and efficiency. You can also drag this timelines so that it will show up all the details which has been captured during this timeline. So you can deep dive into your analysis. Based on the EWM process data, this can also provide generic forecast of all your activities. And you can also leave comments on all these KPI for ongoing investigation, and others can also respond to your comments. For example, user who is actually looking at a particular KPI, he wanted to inform the supervisor that due to certain reason, the capacity, the stock storage capacity is in critical situation, and a supervisor can immediately respond with his comment saying that what action to be taken to actually minimize this situation. Yeah, and you can also personalize your dashboard with the KPIs you wanted to see. And here are some of the core KPIs which can be evaluated by time, inbound, outbound delivery, storage types, material shifts, and there are many other dimensions which are readily available with this package. So what are the key benefits? It is fixed price implementation, and it is a collaborative tool which is an early warning system which indicates if there are if something wrong in your warehouse. Since it helps to identify the issues much earlier, it is easier to gain control of your operations and implement the right decision faster. It is easy to use and you can start immediately with predefined KPIs. So this is one of the interesting app which is really beneficial to your warehouse. And we have another one which is called Smart Glasses, another innovation from Westernacher based on Fiori application, which is hands-free, voice-controlled interface, fully responsive and easily customizable solution. And this also, if you notice, the screens which can be viewed from the glass. This is nothing but our Westernacher RF UI app. So whosoever using Westernacher RF UI app has an advantage of taking up this particular opportunity as well. Uh, and if and considering the benefits, you have all the benefits which you have seen in Westernacher RF UI topic. You have the same set of applications, support application, you have photo capturing application, gallery, everything is there. Everything is integrated with the same with this particular product. And if you if you want to understand the benefits of it, it is voice controlled, right? And you can capture and upload photos to SAP database, and you can make calls and join meetings by using voice commands from this particular device. We have another interesting innovation here, AI drone. After seeing the benefits of drones in general, it is exciting to see how interesting the use cases are to improvise the business processes. For warehousing, we found such an interesting scenario using drone, which can be ordered to perform automatic inventory checks throughout the facility. It drastically reduces the time and expenses by cutting down manual labor. It is quick and efficient, which completes the task less than a minute, which you can see now through our demo. So I would like to take you through a small video here. I believe this would excite everyone, right? So the key benefits of this particular PA drone is, very less time-consuming activities, right? Per bin time, if you notice, it has been observed that it can do the counting activity less than 40 seconds. Yeah, and very high accuracy as all the information captured is scanned and directly updated in SAP EWM against the physical inventory document. It is also autonomous and intelligent with no human intervention for safe and quick data capturing. The business continuity, which is very important, with this options of having autonomous and quick information capturing, PA count can act. PA count can be completed without any disruption to your daily warehouse operations. And we have many more such innovations with Westernacher, especially for warehousing. You could feel free and reach us directly to get to know more about such innovations and topics like Fiori and EWM. Thanks for your time, and we could go for question and answer session to answer your questions.
Thank you, Mevin.
Bro,
Uh,
yeah,
so these are our contact details, guys. If anybody wants to reach out to us, please do so. There has been a few questions, so we'll try and answer them one by one. The first question is from James. Is the RF UI app standard in SAP? That is actually our James. That's actually our innovation, which we did over the Fiori platform. If you need more information on that, I have your contact details. I will let you know more about it. You also asked the question: has this been deployed in the Middle East? Yes, we have deployed it at a customer called Bal Sharaf in Riyadh, and more on this in the email, and I will send this to you. Yeah. The next question is from Deepak. I think Mevin, you can pick this up. Their company has SAP B1.
yeah.
Can that be integrated to EWM? If not, do they have to upgrade to a higher system?
Yeah, so unfortunately, SAP B1 doesn't support integration with warehouse management systems, be it SAP product. They'll have to upgrade to newer versions like S4 HANA so that they can have the benefits of having embedded EWM and transportation management systems in one platform.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you,
for,
Mevin.
yeah.
Thank you. One other question we have is what's the difference between EWM Insights as an innovation and the analytical app that comes standard with EWM?
Yeah, so the first thing you would be already able to see is the look and feel of it and the usability of it. And anybody who is already using SAP standard analytical tool would be able to see the difference with EWM Insights. And SAP standard still it doesn't give a whole lot of KPI which is required for warehousing, especially. You have very few of them, and it is very standard. And you need to do you need to enhance it to have business specific KPIs. But with EWM Insights, we can provide industry specific KPIs, which is already ready. You'll have to just deploy it in your system and run the show. That's the difference of both, and it is easy, and it also tracks all the information based on whatever is captured in from EWM processes, and it can also give the forecasting of all your activities. It can be the reports which has been provided in EWM Insights. It is at storage type level within the warehouse. It is also at activity level. So with any perspective, you can actually drill down and you can pick up the reports, which gives more insights to your business. Yeah.
Thank you, Mevin. I think one last question. Pradeep says that his company has decentral EWM 9.5. Can our RF UI app be deployed on their environment?
Yeah, definitely we can do that. We have done this with other customers as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Pradeep, reach out to us, and I also have your email IDs as well. So I will send you information about it as well. Yeah. That's about the questions I have seen on the question answer toolbar. If you guys have any more questions, please reach out to us either to Rohit or either to Mevin. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
Mevin,
I
go
could
ahead.
add one more thing from my perspective. So
Yeah.
people, I mean customers, those who are looking for migrating their warehouse first, and then they wanted to migrate their ERP system. We have an option of migrating EWM first to your organization or warehouses, and then you can actually plan for upgrading your ERP system. So we have such options as well, just to let you know, right? So people may think that, okay, they have to actually migrate first ERP system to S4HANA and then they can do EWM or other stuff. But that's earlier we had that limitation, but with S4HANA, with newer decentralized setup, we can actually go EWM first and then ERP subsequently. There's an option, very good option for customers.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mevin, for that. And thank you also for this presentation. Hope this was informative for you guys. And please reach out to us if you have any more questions. And with this, we will conclude this webinar. Have a great day. Thank you.